Hey guys, welcome down to Meydan Golf for another equipment review, and what I'm holding in my hands is the brand new series of drivers by Cobra for 2022, a company increasingly synonymous with distance. Why? Well, they've got Bryson DeChambeau among their ranks, a man on a solo quest to achieve the highest ball speeds that have ever been seen on the PGA Tour. They've also got Kyle Berkshire as one of their staff players, the long drive, the two-time long drive champion and the longest hitter in golf at the moment. So there's no real surprise that their drivers for this year, LTD, stand for longest total distance. Do they live up to that claim? We'll take a look. There's 3 different heads. We'll tell you what each one of these heads can do for you. Let's take a closer look. So the LTD series of drivers is the successor to last year's Rad Speed model. You can find that review on our channel. I was kind of blown away by the Rad Speed, I've got to be honest. It was the first club that I tested, I think, where I got ball speeds of over 160 miles an hour. It left a big impression. And in terms of the 3 different heads, much like the Rad Speed, you've got options which will suit different types of golfer. You've got the LTDx Max. This is aimed at the higher handicapper, a golfer who wants maximum forgiveness. It's got the highest moment of inertia. It's got the most weight towards the back. If you want maximum forgiveness and you're not too worried about total maximum distance, this is certainly the option that you would go for. You've got the LTDx LS. This is the one that Bryson DeChambeau has the most input on. This is the one for the other end of the spectrum. If you are either a professional or a very low handicap golfer and low spin, maximum distance is your #1 requirement. This one has moved a lot of weight closer to the front of the driver for maximum club head speed, for maximum ball speed, and the price you pay there is you do get lower spin. So if that's something that you struggle with, like myself, it's definitely something to bear in mind. The LTDx is the middle of the range option. This is the option where you have got weight fixed at the back. You've got a fixed 10-gram weight here, but you've also got this power core near the front. It does deliver a lot of extra weight near the front of the club, so you are achieving perhaps the same kind of club head speed. You're just getting slightly higher spin rates than you are with the LTDx LS. That's the idea anyway. The 3 heads certainly aimed at 3 different types of players. The higher handicapper for the Max, the low handicap professional player for the LS, and if you want something in the middle, you're looking at the LTDx. If you're wondering in what ways the LTDx series is an improvement on the Rad Speed drivers from 12 months ago, that boils down to what Cobra are claiming are 3 key areas of technological evolution. One is this power core. This is internal and external weights that have pushed more weight further forward and have helped to lower spin, which ultimately will produce higher ball speeds off the face. The hot face technology is the second component here. Cobra have used a computer to map out the thickness of the face on 15 different areas of the club face to essentially optimize your ball speed no matter where you're hitting it off the face. So if you're not catching it right out of the sweet spot, if you're catching it out of the toe or out of the heel, you're not going to be penalized as much as you ordinarily would be, because Cobra have altered the face structure to really optimize ball speed regardless of where you're striking it. So consistency is key there. And finally, material. It is a multi-material construction, and the key word here is carbon. There is 30% more carbon fiber on this club head than there is on the Rad Speed model, and this has helped Cobra more efficiently use weight and try to get more weight into this power core, which ultimately will lower spin and ultimately will produce higher ball speeds. So let's hit some shots on the GC quad and take a look at some of the numbers. I'm nicely warmed up, so I'm going to hit a handful of shots with each of the 3 drivers, and I'm going to have a look, and interesting to see how the data compares from club head to club head. Does the technology stack up? We've got an overview of the numbers here. I've hit the Cobra LTDx, which is the kind of standard driver head. I've hit the LS, which is the low spin, and I've hit the LTDx Max as well. Really interested by the numbers. First impressions on the driver. I love the Rad Speed 12 months ago. I love the LTDx. Not actually all that surprised by that. Hit it really nicely. I love the sound. I love the look of this club. The ball flight is really penetrating. You get a really nice hot ball flight from the face. So there's not much not to like about this golf club. Again, it's personal preference. When you think about the price point and the fact that this is the most competitively priced premium branded club, it's giving you an extra thing to think about. But let's look at the overview if we can. And the ball speed was up. I was up over 170 miles an hour, which I was absolutely delighted about. But the interesting thing about this is that the LTDx Max, which is the head, remember, that is pitched towards a higher handicap player, I actually hit that the straightest and I hit it the furthest. And the reason I did that was because of the weight further to the back of the club head here, I was able to launch it higher. I'm a low spinning player. So when I would go for a club fitting, I might end up with an LTDx Max as opposed to the LTDx or the low spinning. I certainly probably wouldn't take the low spin because, as you can see in the column here, less than 2,000 RPM with the LS. As you expect, I'm a player that struggles to get my spin rates up with a driver. We've done that. We've talked about that in numerous other videos on this channel. And I would look to use a club head which would allow me to get the RPM above 2,000, closer to 2,500, which would be closer to optimum. But really happy with these top line numbers. A higher launch with the LTDx Max, as you would expect with that golf club. And what can I say? 170 miles an hour. I was delighted with that. I think the most interesting point about this data is the fact that Cobra has positioned these three heads really, really nicely. I got the highest launch with the LTDx Max as advertised. I got the lowest spin with the LTDx LS, of course, designed for players who want to bring their spin rates down. And the LTDx sat somewhere in the middle. So you've got three great options here, and I would urge you guys, if you come for a club fitting at eGolf Megastore, to certainly bear Cobra in mind. It's the most competitively priced of the premium drivers in the market, and if you haven't been a Cobra player, open your mind and give it a go. I think they're fantastic, and they're offering three separate heads, very much designed, and clearly by the data shown here, very proficient at helping three different types of golfer. LTDx, LTDx Max, and LTDx LS. It's a bit of a mouthful, but this driver is going to make a big impression in 2022. If you've enjoyed this review, please do subscribe to our channel. We've got loads more content coming on the way very soon. And please do comment below. Let us know how you're getting on with the clubs. We love hearing from you.